Namaste, my dear friends. If your brain feels noisy, anxious, tired, and won't shut up, it's not because you're broken. It's because your brain brake is not working. And this is exactly how the GABA receptors work. As eventually, we live in a time when we have a huge amount of things which are stimulating us. And inside of our head, there is a specific part of the neurons which help to push the brake. In other words, when we are super active, most people think that anxiety, overthinking, and bad sleep means something is wrong with them. But it's actually not. What's wrong is that the brain is stuck on a pedal which pushes gas, and the brake system is suppressed. So this exactly instrument where you have to push the brake, that brake is called GABA, the GABA receptors. In a very simple way, GABAs are literally the brake of the brain. The GABA receptors are the button that tells the brain to calm down. So how it works? When the button works nicely, when the GABA receptors are all good, then it means our thoughts are smooth, we feel ourselves quite relaxed, anxiety drops tremendously, we have a very good sleep, and enjoyable sleep. This is when everything works good in our brain. GABA receptors know how to push the brake. But when they don't work, then on the opposite, and many of you might recognize it, that the brain, it's always racing somewhere. At the same time, the body feels tense or strong, numb. You can't relax when there's nothing is happening. So you're in a peaceful location and everything should be good, you lay down and relax, but you can't, because literally your brake inside of your head is not working properly. So what overstimulated really means? It doesn't mean that you're too emotional. It usually means that the brake is weak and the gas is stuck. Modern life mostly pushes us to have a lot of gas in our life. How is this being stimulated? Well, let's just take the aspect of our screens on which we're right now watching this video. There's, for example, the blue light, and if you study the topic, you'll discover that the amount of blue light in our life in the last 30 years has increased tremendously. When the warm light, this orange light, yellowish light, which we used to see on the streets when we were small, walking on the streets from the lamps, but now everything is pitch black cold, because this motivates the brain, it becomes active, and people get sick. So that's why screens overmotivate us. At the same time, notifications, stress, caffeine, pressure, constant thinking, debts and credits, our attitude towards this, all of this creates more and more stress inside of our heads. And when you have these things on your plate, well, it's super great to know that it's important to make breaks. And these breaks are usually done by our GABA receptors. So why people mostly feel tired but wired? Your body is exhausted, but your brain won't shut down. That's not willpower, that's biology. Without GABA activity, rest doesn't happen. You don't recover while awake. You recover when your nervous system slows down. And that's why when you start to eat Amanita Muscaria and the muscimol builds up in your system, that if you need sleep and relaxation, this is what you want. You want to relax, you want to sleep. And through that, your body finally can recover and do its natural work. So that's why many people in the beginning start to fall asleep, because the GABA receptors finally push the brake, and finally the body can relax and do the things that it needs to do. The nervous system relaxes and healing happens. So why calming the brain feels scary in the beginning? For many people, calm feels uncomfortable because from childhood and life, we're more are trained to be slaves, so we'll be always overstimulated. We have to always run, we have to always prove, we have to always pay credit, we have to always prove everyone and everything that I have to do this, I have to do that, or I won't be loving, or nobody will respect me, or what will happen, blah, 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 blah. And as a result, people get really quickly lost the moment they allow their mind to guide them through the values that society, school, education, politicians, and mass media are pushing upon the mind of the person. When you let go and allow yourself to be yourself, you become really quickly free and happy, relaxed. And once you relax, that will be the first thing you will want to simply to sleep. So for many people, silence feels strange. Slowing down feels unsafe because the nervous system is used to being on guard. When the break finally engages, the body reacts with sleepiness, heaviness, and deep relaxation. So, and this, it's not a collapse. It's finally a deep release, a deep healing process, which you were praying and asking for surrounding doctors and people to give you. So once you feel tired, well, relax. Recover, go to the next level, and then you can move on with new strength, new clearance, and new transformation. Many people think that sleeping is a weakness, but or that it's about losing control. But in truth, it's just the system is being reset. Everything that we have sent throughout the day, it starts to activate. So, and when the brain takes a break, the hormones rebalance, digestion improves, emotions stabilize, and thinking becomes very clear. So that's why rest changes everything, and that's why taking Amanita Muscaria with muscimol will have such a great effect on your inner state. So the most important core, most people are not sick, they are not lazy, and they're not broken. They're just simply overstimulated by the surrounding world. So like a rabbit or a hamster, he would continue running, or rat race, that he would continue running and won't understand that he's already or she's already losing their life energy playing a game that they cannot control, and which eventually leads them to deeper enslavement, sickness, and karma. So the healing doesn't start with pushing harder. It starts with going deeper and allowing yourself to relax. So in this sense, I want to share that closing is, if your mind is very loud, don't fight it. Fix the break of your GABA receptors, relax, find the time, and when the brain will slow down, life will get very clear. It's very hard to see clearly life when you're always running, and when you're inside of your head, you have 1,000 responsibilities or thoughts connected with everything and everyone. Except who? Exactly, you. If your mind and consciousness would be focused on you and yourself and your own problems, you would be amazed how quickly your life would change, even within 1 month, with the only focus on yourself and not paying attention and not being distracted by others and by the things which were consciously developed so that we would stay enslaved as screens, phones, news, and etc. Be conscious, love yourself, know that nobody will save you except yourself, and know that in this lies the biggest beauty. It's a beautiful game of freedom, or you will use this freedom upon that matters to you. or your freedom will be taken away and you'll be playing the games which other people want you to play. They will stimulate you like animals, so you would continue running and jogging and doing the work that you don't want to do, guiding you there where you don't want to be, in relying on promises of people that are not happy in their lives and which don't have love. They don't have respect from the close ones, and in many cases they have very, very, very deep depression and suicidal thoughts, but publicly will keep a beautiful face on, and they will tell you just continue working, do business, go to the army, yes, just carry more problems on your back and this will truly help. No, it doesn't. You're alone, you came here alone, you will go away alone. Take care of yourself, be conscious, love yourself, and push the illusions of other people back to them, and you'll see how quickly life will change. So, please share a story in your life. What was the biggest or the most special moment in your life when you were super tired? Yeah? What helped you to overcome that tiredness? Please share with me which insights you got after that traumatic tiredness that you had, and which things helped you to come out from being tired. I would love to hear that. And if you want to find out more about some things, how I usually overcome the illusions of my mind and keep my body in a good shape, then follow the next video, and there I'll share the next wisdom. So thank you very much for watching. Namaste, and always in touch.